is just fantastic. For obvious reasons, this video will not have a captain's log. It is a difficult one to navigate, so I ask for forgiveness if I lose my way or go off on tangents as I usually do. There is within this topic alone a bigger picture and a whole list of contexts, all of which matter. I know somebody inevitably wants to write in the comments, but don't you know context doesn't matter? It does to all of us. The incident concerning the vlogger David Dobrik, who's more commonly known for Vine and the Vlog Squad, has yet again shone a dark light on YouTubers, simply because some do not fundamentally understand consent, and some will do anything for a, and let's air quote this word, quality, end air quotes, video. While referencing this video as consent, some might point out I will reference clout. Yes, I will, but I will not be victim blaming or shaming anyone involved. And if there's any clout, it isn't from the victims. I can promise you that. For the sake of this video, we need the definition of consent. Consent is permission granted by one or more peoples to do something or have something done to them. Understandably, we now have to ask, can consent be revoked? In this context of that question alone, the word context is nebulous, so it does in fact require parameters. As I mentioned David Dobrik, I'm going to mention a couple versions, because the answer can be yes and no. In the context of YouTube videos, where one has appeared on someone else's channel, consent can be revoked, so the video can either be edited or removed. For something a little more intimate, like intercourse, it can be revoked before. It in fact can be revoked during. That one is quite complex. Not touching it with a barge pole, but it cannot be revoked after intercourse has been completed. Anyone remember the college cases of 2015 to 2017? Because there were a number of them where people had revoked consent after and then decided it wasn't intercourse, it was something far more criminal. Do you remember when I said at the start I was prone to going off on tangents? There's one of them. There are a number of incidents that have come to light as of late, much of which has been discussed on the H3 podcast, more notably with Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas, while admitting to having a vendetta against, for example, Dobrik and Jason Nash, has been on point with a fair amount of what has transpired. Apparently her insanity can be contained. I'm quite impressed. A man called Seth Francois appeared on the podcast to share his allegations. For example, he felt pressured to participate in skits that came off as culturally insensitive, one of which included him having to open a fridge only to find watermelon spilling out of it. He felt that he was the butt of many jokes as the only black guy in the entire vlog squad. On David Dobrik's channel there was a video that had been watched almost 10 million times, where Dobrik says he's going to pull a prank on Seth Francois by making him believe he is going to make out with Karina, another Vlog Squad member, but in reality he made out with Jason Nash, who was in disguise. Francois said he never gave consent to that kiss, and after much thought, he decided to then call a sexual assault hotline and speak with someone about what happened. They confirmed, because he had not granted consent, that it was in fact sexual assault. There have been videos done since then, more notably by Scotty Sire, I believe, debunking claims from Seth Francois, but many point out he overlooks the fact that while he did say he would appear in future versions of it that were staged, he never consented to the original one. He did have a conversation with Dobrik and Jason Nash about the video, but instead of offering, for example, to take the video down, they offered to pay him money to keep the video online. Dobrik had confessed that he has over the years looked at videos he's done in the past and regretted them, We know this from a recent apology video, one of 2 he's done. In one of those videos he conceded that he is not the same person, but he keeps content up, even though recently it was noticed he's lost about 60 million views. I wonder where they went. For the sake of it, I'm going to link the H3 podcast, because they go into so much with this. Now, I earlier defined consent, because he revoked it. He asked them to remove that video, and they simply said no. That is unacceptable. If someone appears in a video on my channel and they're not comfortable with it, after having agreed to, I will still remove the video, because they can revoke the consent if they want. Unless it's Sinatra, the video stays up because you are eye candy. The next incident happened in 2018 and concerns another member of Vlog Squad called Durte Dom. Dirty Dom? Dirt? Just call him Dom. In a 2018 vlog on that channel, a young lady said she was too intoxicated to consent to sex with Dom during the night that they were filming for a vlog. As she did not grant consent, I'm sure you all know the exact word for that. I'm now going to point this out now. In one of the apology videos that Dobrik made, he said, "Let's talk, disable comments," and in the second he said he'll use the actual words to describe what happened, only to mute those words in the video. There is nothing honest about censorship. During the vlog in question, Dobrik and his friends, Dom being the character of a sex addict at the time, had met up with some students. Much of the content back then was known for being reality TV improv and situational comedy, or to call it by its proper name, fake. Granted, Dobrik wasn't as big as he is now, but he was still considered a huge name. It wasn't long until the Wall Street Journal named him Gen Z's Jimmy Fallon. Because they liked to party quite a lot, Hannah and the rest of them got incredibly drunk, Hannah being the victim here. But at no point did Hannah consent to anything. She also wasn't old enough to buy alcohol, so the Vlog Squad acquired it for them. Now granted, all teenagers do this, I fully get it. But Dobrik filmed this. Hannah entered the apartment and then by extension Dom's bedroom. Dobrik edited and uploaded the footage as a air quotes threesome plot a few days later and called it "She Should Not Have Played With Fire." It had been viewed 5 million times before it was deleted at Hannah's request. Eventually Hannah spoke with The Insider on the condition of anonymity out of concern that sharing her full name could then affect her employment opportunities. In late February, when The Insider first reached out to Dom about the story, he said he didn't want to talk about the Vlog Squad, but would speak on his own achievements. And then in March, he simply declined to comment. Dobrik's management were also reached out to and also said bugger all, but Dobrik's attorney Brian Friedman did eventually say that David will address his community directly, which he did via 2 apology videos. The first of which was utter tripe. It was so vague and so badly made, it almost ticked every single checkbox on a PewDiePie meme for every single YouTube apology. So 6 days later, because that's how long it takes to correct your mistake, he released another apology. It's also not much better. It's 7 minutes long and he says he's got lots to learn. His mouth said one thing but his eyes were saying another. It couldn't have been because you lost a load of sponsors now, could it? Or how about the fact that YouTube demonetized you? And obviously Durte Dom. Yes, you were supposed to be the next Jimmy Fallon. How utterly disgraceful you are. My opinion on this is quite simple. You crossed a line and you should pay for it. Lead by example. You say you have learning to do? Do you really think learning will cut it? Millions of people look up to you and the content you produce. Millions. It's quite impressive to see somebody who is seen as a shining beacon next to the likes of Mr. Beast be brought down so fast, all because he fundamentally did not understand consent. While I myself don't care much for content on channels that obsessively covers an individual over and over and over and over and over and over again, Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein will continue to have an absolute field day with you because of how bad your apologies are.